Good day, good day, good day, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Welcome to Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and this is Morning Sip with me. So I'm with you live today. It's wonderful to be with you all. I hope all is well. I am sip is such a joy to me. I just have to say that, right? I just have to say that this is such a joy for me. This is part of my ministry of joy. I'm so blessed and grateful to be an interfaith minister, a licensed religious science practitioner, a spiritual life coach, and the senior minister, spiritual director at Centers for Spiritual Living in Rockland County in New York. So, we are in our harvest series, and I gave you some homework to do yesterday. And it was something that you could easily do, right? To just observe yourself. To just observe yourself. So, Tim, did you spend some time yesterday observing yourself? Just checking yourself out, just as a witness to how you are nourishing yourself throughout the day yesterday. So, this was like very present for me. Whenever I ask you guys to do things, my congregation of joy, I do it. I'm holding myself accountable because I cannot ask you to do things and I don't do them. So I observed myself yesterday and how I was nourishing myself. And I had some errands to do. And I had said to myself, I'm going to walk today because walk. I see you, Tim. Tim said he didn't. All right. Well, you know what? Today's a new day and we get to do it again today. So if you didn't do it, it's okay. Yesterday is over. Today's a new day. So we decide what we're going to do today, right? To just observe ourselves. So yesterday I decided one way that I nourish myself, is by walking and just being out in nature and getting some nature air and all that wonderfulness. And I had a lot of errands to run. And now it was heading towards the evening and I'm just getting back home. And I said to myself, do you do the bargaining thing? I do this bargaining thing with myself. If then this bargain. So I said to myself as I was driving home, if I get home before 6, then I'll meet up with a walking group and go walking because they go walking on Mondays at 6 p.m. So I get home about 5:45 and I'm like, that mind starts going, oh girl, it's 5:45. You're not going to make it in time. You got to change and put on your walking stuff. Then you got to get in the car and get over there. And then you got to find some place to park. You got to do all that in 15 minutes, girl. That's never going to happen, right? That's what happens. It starts going, right? It starts going. And I said, no, I'm going to press on. I'm going to press on. So I walked out my door at 5:57. At 5:57. And the dialogue that's going on in my mind is nourishment, nourishment. At the same time, there's another dialogue going on in my mind. Girl, it's 5:57. They're going to be gone by the time you get over there, right? Just stay home. And I said, no, I want to nourish myself. So I went on, got over there. It was a little after 6 and no one was there. We meet up in this certain spot. Nobody was there. And so I said, you know what? I know what path they walk on, which way they go when they first head out. Let me just drive down the road and see if I see anyone. And sure enough, I'm driving down the road and I see one person walking. And that person was Nelda, who started the We Run Mount Vernon walking group. She's one of the co-founders. So I yelled out to her. I parked the car, got out the car, and we had a wonderful walk. We did about almost a 4-mile walk yesterday. and it was great. Oh, I see Tim walked yesterday too. Wonderful, wonderful. So, Pamela and Wayne, we are talking about if we observed ourselves yesterday and how we nourish ourselves, Lindsay. Did you observe how you nourish yourself? And if you nourished yourself at all? So I was just sharing that I nourish myself by walking. Yes, Karen, I missed you, but girl, you off the hook because you did a marathon on Sunday, walking 26.2 miles. So you get to nourish yourself by taking a rest. Yes, Karen, good for you. But I was out there with Nelda and we had a wonderful time. And when I got back home, I felt so good. I felt so good because I needed that nourishment, right? I needed that nourishment. And part of nourishment also is recovery, right? So I'm glad you're giving yourself time to recover from your marathon. Wonderful. So we're going to continue today with our harvest series. And yesterday we talked about knowing what season you're in, right? To know what season you're in. Because harvest means what? Harvest means gathering of crops, the gathering of crop and reap, right? What you reap, right? And we know, because this famous saying is in the Bible, right? You sow, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. So we want to sow. Yesterday, we wanted to sow. We wanted to receive the reaping of nourishment. And I feel like I got that for myself. And I hope you got it for yourself also. So there's also a Bible verse that starts off with, to everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under the sun. And we know that this is the truth because this is the way that the law operates, right? The law operates orderly. The seasons are orderly. So to everything there is an order. To everything there is an order. A time and a purpose for everything under the heavens. So, I just had a thought. I want to save it just for a moment. So I was sharing yesterday an article that I found online called 5 Steps to Reaping Your Professional Harvest. Because in September, we're in our work theme, right? We're on our work theme for the month of September here on SIP and at Rockland CSL, where I'm the spiritual director. So I was fascinated and quite interested in this article that was put out by the Epiphany Institute. Love that name. So I want to share the second step to reaping your professional harvest. But this doesn't just apply to work and work as far as a job. This, excuse me, this applies to our way of work, our way of work. And our way of work, let's not forget the 4 elements, our formula: value, love, service, gifts. Value, love, service, gift. What value are you bringing? What do you love? What service are you giving? And what gifts are you sharing? Or what gifts do you have? All right. So let's remember that's what we're grounding it in. That's the soil, if you will. That is the soil. So the second step is plant according to the harvest you want to reap before we start. So that's what it is. Plant according to the harvest you want to reap. This is the second step. Before we start planting, we need to ask ourselves exactly what type of harvest we're looking to reap. Once you know what you want, make sure you're planting the right seed or are engaged in the right activity to get there. This is so important because all that we're talking about when we're talking about harvesting is we're just talking about using the law intelligently. That's all we're talking about. So we know if we want a cucumber, we're not going to plant apple seeds, right? So if we know that we want to experience the quality of abundance in our lives, we're not going to plant a seed of limitation. Yes? Yet, many times, that is exactly what we do. We plant what we don't want, expecting to receive, expecting to reap, expecting the harvest to be what we want. That's not how the law works. Right? That is not how the law works. So it is guaranteed that what you plant, you shall harvest. You shall reap it. But we need to know what seed we are planting. What do we want? So we all here on the Congregation of Joy here on SIP, we're already ahead of the game because we already know the seeds that we are planting. And we have already planted. Remember, we have been working for 9 months on our quality. Our quality is our seed that we have planted in the soil, in our soul, right? Soil, soul. And we have been cultivating it, nourishing it for a season or two, right? And now it is harvest time. So what is it looking like for you? Because if it doesn't look like that which you said you wanted, that means that the seed that you planted, because the seed doesn't get it wrong, the seed that you planted was not the seed that you wanted. You planted some other seed. You planted a seed of limiting beliefs. You planted a seed of lack and limitation. You planted a seed of worry, doubt. You've planted a seed of I can't, I don't know how, I won't, I always lose. Everything wrong always happens to me. You planted a seed of victim. You planted a seed of scarcity. You planted a seed. What seed did you plant? Because whatever you're out picturing experience is a clue. It's the information. Not to beat ourselves up about it, but just to observe it and take the information in. Because guess what, y'all? We get to plant new seeds. We get to plant new seeds all the time. Every single day, we could decide, oh, let me plant a new seed. Let me harvest it. Let me nurture it, right? Yes, Lindsay. Thank you, girl. Lindsay says, so wonderful awareness. Yes, this is what we get to do. This is our work. This is our work. So I want to share one other thing, and this is from the Science of Mind text by Ernest Holmes. And this is on page, if you want to look at this later on, it's on page 206, right at the top. And this is a chapter about the physical perfection. The physical perfection. And this is what Ernest Holmes writes about the seed. When a seed is put into the ground, the law pertaining to growth operates and a plant is produced. And that unless a seed is planted, no plant will be produced. I'm going to read it again. When a seed is put into the ground, the law pertaining to growth operates and a plant is produced. And that unless a seed is planted, no plant will be produced. How many of us are expecting a harvest, but we didn't plant no seeds? We didn't plant no seeds. We didn't plant what we desire. We didn't plant our work. We didn't plant our quality. And we sitting around thinking that something is going to grow. If you plant nothing, guess what you harvest? Nothing. This is just information, right? And we know if we plant love, what will harvest? Love. If we plant a seed of kindness, what will we harvest? Kindness. Kindness. So it always works. This is the good news. This is the good news. It always works no matter what. Plant the seed of nothing, harvest nothing. Plant the seed of joy, harvest joy. Plant the seed of abundance, harvest abundance. It is there, waiting to come out of the darkness into the light. Because in the darkness, it's getting all the nutrients that it needs if we nourish ourselves. Yes? All right, y'all. All right. So, day 2, observe how you are nourishing your seeds. Because I know everybody planted their seed. How are you nourishing your quality? How are you nourishing your quality? Okay? All right, y'all. All right. So let's get into some joy news. Let's get into some joy news. So today is Tuesday. So I just want to put out there for you all on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living, we have what we call Hour of Power. And so the first Wednesday of the month, we do visioning, and I facilitate that. Tomorrow is our second Wednesday of the month, and we do prayer, the power of prayer. And that is facilitated by one of my practitioners, licensed practitioner, dynamic prayer, and her name is Jan. So if you want to get prayed up, you want somebody to pray over your seeds, come tonight and join us on an Hour of Power. Go to Rockland CSL. I'll put it up so you can see. Just go to rocklandcsl.org. Go over to events, click on Hour of Power, and you'll be in the Zoom room. That happens at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, tomorrow night. Okay, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Would love to have you. Okay? All right. So this Sunday, Living Life in Joy, we have a new episode. I have a wonderful woman that I want to introduce you all to. So please tune in 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. She is harvesting some beautiful things into the world. And so please join me for that. And then on Sunday, we have our Sunday in Praise at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. There we go again. Please join us at 11:30 for our Sunday service celebration. We are in our work theme, as you know, and Sunday's topic is living the dream. Living the dream. So please join me for that. We have a wonderful guest speaker So please tune in. We also live stream the service on Facebook. Okay. I want to put out there this date. This is happening next week on September 21st. It is the annual United Nations International Day of Peace. And CSL is also recognizing this Day of Peace with the theme One World, One Love, One Peace. And we'll be doing hourly meditations at the top of the hour all day on Wednesday. And then coming together at 3 o'clock Eastern Time on Facebook to do a global meditation. So if you want to participate in that, just go to CSL's Facebook page, Centers for Spiritual Living Facebook page, September 21st at 3 p.m. Okay? All right. I think that's all I wanted to share today. So everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day today. Remember, what are we doing today? Day 2 of observing our nourishment and choosing to nourish ourselves and nourish those seeds. Nourish those seeds. Nourish your quality. Yes? All right. I'm going to check in with y'all tomorrow. I want to hear some good reports. All right? All right, everybody. So, peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.